everyone. Welcome to another review from Simply Nerdy. This is your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Austin and David because we all saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes this weekend, opening weekend. And here are our thoughts. We're going to split this up into two sections, one that's spoiler-free and the other that contains spoilers, so that if you don't want to be spoiled, you can watch the first half of this and then come back for the last half after you see them. So yeah, non-spoiler section, guys. What did you think?
I liked it.
Yes. Overall, it was really good. I really appreciated what Wes Ball had to bring to the table as a producer and director, especially seeing his work doing the motion capture. It really makes me excited for what he's going to do with Zelda.
Yep, we probably will talk about this Zelda movie here.
Yeah, a lot.
Absolutely, we're going to talk about it a lot, especially in the spoiler section. So,
yes,
absolutely, David.
That's why I was willing to see it, even though I have not seen all of the previous trilogy of Planet of the Apes movies. I saw the first one, and then I missed whatever came after that until now. And but I wanted to see this because I'm invested to see what this director had to do, how he did with the movie and what it might imply for the Zelda movie in the future. I thought from a quality standpoint, cinematography, production quality, all that, it was solid. No complaints there.
Yeah,
and like Steve, like Austin said, the motion capture in particular, it was flawless.
Yeah, as you watch the Planet of the Apes movies, from Rise, Dawn, War, the motion capture got better and better and better, but this is like the peak of that. Well, maybe not the peak because it's going to get better, but this is like the best it's been, right? It was so beautiful. The sequences were great. The vistas, gorgeous. There were some gorgeous shots of just like post-apocalyptic scenes that just really popped. They were gorgeous. And the journey just takes you everywhere. From rainforest to desert to oceans and all kinds of different places, and it's so, and it even felt like a Zelda movie at times. It's like, here's this hero, he's going on this journey, and you're like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And then some mentoring here and there, maybe along the way, but runs into other characters and stuff, so it's not terribly boring. It was entertaining the whole time. Supposedly, there are people out there that says it's too long. I didn't feel like it was too long. My wife said it was borderline too long. I loved every second. I was soaking it in. I was happy with the length. But it was fantastic. Great character development across the board. There's one character though that I'm questioning. And I'll get into that in the spoiler section. But there's one character that I don't feel like got enough time for you to understand her true intentions, which is one of the problems I have with it.
From like you were saying, Steven, as far as like the scenery, everything they have, the entire movie is basically a completely made up world. Nothing you see is going to remind you of Earth.
Yeah, no kidding.
So as far as that goes, like the world, every scene you see is this fantastical post-apocalyptic Earth, and the main characters aren't even human, and so that's why I'm thinking, that's why I'm convinced he can pull off a Zelda movie. If there's motion capture needed for any characters, like he's got the experience and skills for that, to direct that, and if the entire movie takes place in Hyrule, doesn't look anything like Earth, he can obviously handle that.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that. It not only did the scenery look really cool, but a lot of the effects and everything that they used with the motion capture involved, like that was just really cool, really unique to see. As someone who's dabbled in, everything from graphics to VR and just motion generating stuff, it's quite fascinating to see where technology has come to nowadays. There are some scenes where I'm like, how did they do that? It was mostly probably just CGI. Like there's one point where somebody's falling from high up, and I was like, oh yeah, I'd hate to be in the motion capture suit and have to fall from a No, I'm just kidding. They wouldn't do that. But really, it was awesome work. I mean, you could see even the slightest changes in their facial expressions. It was very well designed, well animated. So Westball, props to him. I'd have to agree with your wife, Stephen. I think it was borderline too long.
That's fair.
But I could be wrong. Maybe it was there were a couple moments where I was starting to kind of fall asleep. Maybe it's just because I'm just getting old. It could
Austin, dang it.
Yeah,
it could also be the fact that we went and saw the movie at like
It was
10
late.
o'clock at night, and so it was
Yes.
approaching midnight, and I was already really tired that day. So
That's fair.
Yeah, there's some confounding variables there.
It was a late showing.
I didn't think for me it was too long, but it did. It was maybe longer than it needed to be, is how I'd put it. Like it wasn't like, oh, it was so long that it ruined the movie or anything like that. I think my only real complaints were the story itself was maybe a little generic, if you think about it. Like as far as just the actual plot, everything else I thought was amazing. But if it's just like you just wrote the plot down on paper, it was pretty straightforward.
All right, ready to throw out a review then? A review score, and we'll get into some spoilers.
yeah, let's do it.
8. How about 8 out of 10 for me?
All right, Austin.
Last night, as I mentioned, it was teetering on 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I'm going to say 7.5. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
It's
That's fair.
good. It's good. It's just not as good as the previous trilogy, but it's still solid. And I think it's definitely worth the watch. Is it worth watching in theaters? That's up to you. Like if you're a huge Planet of the Apes fan, go see it.
It was awesome.
But I would recommend seeing it because number one, it's gorgeous. It looks really good on a theater screen. And anyway, so I'll leave it at that.
I'm giving it a 10 to bump it up. I'm just kidding.
He's fudging the
I'm
scores.
bumping up the average. I'm just kidding. No, I'm
You
also
made that
giving
joke.
it.
You made that joke yesterday, and
I did.
so that's why Austin lowered his score today.
That's right. It's a 5
He was
now.
going to bring it up anyway. No, I am not giving it a 10. I'm giving it an 8. I agree with David. And Austin. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys are saying about it. It's great. Vistas are wonderful. Some character things that are a little bit troublesome for me. David, as David said, the story is a bit generic, but it was a fun watch, and I was very entertained throughout the whole thing. And absolutely recommend it to theaters. So if you have seen it, or if you have not seen it, this is where we're going to enter the spoiler section. So go away and come back.
Please get out of here.
Get out of here. You don't want to hear the spoilers. All right. If you have, let's go. All right. So the character I was talking about, I don't remember her name. So it's not May.
May.
I'm guessing if you're talking about the young girl.
I'm talking about her. I have no idea, man.
What did they call her
What
before?
Nova.
Nova. Yeah.
But that character was odd. I never knew what her intentions were. I still don't. Like, why was she following Caesar? Why was she following Noah? What are your intentions? Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say the weirdest part for her character was definitely how she latched on to Noah, even though they didn't give a good reason for it, right?
Well, I think what her whole purpose was she was trying to gain the trust of the apes so that she could use their help to break into the that whatever that
Gotcha.
thing, the dam. No, it wasn't a dam. What was that thing? It was like a big
vault?
It was a vault.
vault,
Yeah,
vault of some sort. Yeah.
that makes sense because she couldn't climb that wall otherwise.
Well, she did a horrible
That's
job
fair.
at gaining trust.
Yeah, she did. She did. And not only that, there was a lot of problems that I had with her. And the actress was great. Let me just
Yes,
say
she
that.
did good.
She
She was
did
really
a
good.
good job. I
Great
just
job.
think it's mostly story-wise. I think she,
Mhm.
I don't know, like the one part that I took issue with was the part where she randomly decides to kill William Macy's character.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Yep.
But
That was weird.
Yeah, so it's huge spoiler alert, but that was
You were in the spoiler section, so it's okay.
you're in the sports section. So if you heard this and you're upset, blame yourself. You only have
Something
yourself
else.
to blame.
In all the other Planet of the Apes movies, Dawn, Rise, War, there's always a human in there that you can root for. That's like
Yeah.
doing good things. yes, there's also the bad humans, and there's also the bad apes, and blah blah blah. And you're like, yes, I'm rooting for this human. I'm rooting for these apes. These guys are doing good. Get out of here. Is she good or is she bad? I don't know. It's like, and there's no other humans that we can say, yes, these humans are good. Or maybe that was on purpose. I don't know. But it's always nice to have, both apes and humans to root for. And here I was just like, man, those humans, you cannot trust them.
Right.
Maybe that's the point. But geez.
Yeah.
I can understand like her basic mission, as far as like she obviously was sent with a group, and their goal was to get into this vault and get a specific item so that it's a piece of technology so people could communicate with each other again. Like, but once you get into the details of like how she's going about it, that's where it falls apart a little bit. Her plan, like this. Okay, so obviously she's being chased. Her group was caught by the bad guy, the bad ape, and most of them were killed. And now they're trying to catch her because they know she's more than the average human, right? And they assume she can help them get into the vault.
Yep.
But as far as like once she's running away from that group of apes, where she acts dumb. Like, I'm going to pretend to be a dumb human, and I'm going to maybe try and get apes help by scavenging their camp. Or I don't know.
Right?
Like acting real shady.
Right? Who are you?
To add to that, this is going to jump a little bit, jump ship, or just talk about Proximus, one of the other, the main villain, the antagonist of this movie. He, I don't know, like, I loved the voice work.
Oh yeah.
But the character, again, did we ever really learn like what his intentions were? It's kind of like he's kind of
vaguely.
He kind of like has this Caesar approach. I don't remember exactly how he went about creating this clan, but it was
he's
so
trying to
weird.
create this kingdom. Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna create a kingdom.
Create a
like,
kingdom, but they're
And then we're going to take all the human technology in this vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he wanted. He wanted the ability to like progress their knowledge, or to advance their
Yes.
I don't know, their way of thinking or something to be able to be higher in terms of the evolution.
Right. But I wasn't even that scared of this guy either. They tried to make him scary, but I was like, I'm not.
Yeah. He's kind of a generic villain.
Maybe that's what the problem was. I won't give anything away for David, but in War of the Planet of the Apes, the villain in that movie was terrifying. I was terrified of that guy. He was so unpredictable. I was just like, what the crud? But here I was like, this guy's he's just.
I was more scared of his like mercenary henchman dudes.
Same.
The other apes, the other big apes.
Yeah, he let them all do his dirty work for him. So for most of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were definitely. I guess that's why one of them got the personal vengeance on him, right? Compared to the other characters. But
we one thing we had talked about was the ending, that his death, right, where the birds kind of attack him. I thought that was kind of clever. I mean, because they hinted at it since the beginning, and that was it was also really good character development for Noah, where he gets to win over the trust of the birds, I guess.
Because his whole clan, like their clan is like based on raising eagles, right?
So
yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
It's so cool.
And he becomes a disciple of Caesar after learning from, I believe his name was Raka, who was one of the only Caesar disciples left. And
best character.
Yeah,
he was the best character. I loved him.
Awesome. He was funny. He was I don't know, like his expressions, everything about him. He was fantastic. Well done.
He wasn't in the movie long enough.
I know.
I agree.
When he joined, like I was like, okay, now I'm getting into it more. And
that was one of the things where I was like, I'm so mad that they killed him off.
Yeah, that was a really bad decision, guys. Sorry. At least keep him for a little longer. That was too soon.
Yeah, maybe towards the very end if he had died. But anyway, but Noah is a disciple of Caesar now, and one of the like right, not rights. What do you call them? The laws, I guess, that Caesar had decided to put into place was to not for an ape not to kill another ape.
Hmm.
And at the end, you were just like, oh, how is he, like, he's getting beat up by Proximus. How is he gonna fight? How is he gonna win this battle? And then of course the eagles kind of take, it plays into that where the eagles are being used. So technically he's not killing, it's not an ape killing another ape, it's the eagles. Anyway, I thought that was kind of clever.
That was a good point.
Too. I thought I had a problem with it until you and Rachel said that.
Yeah.
Austin and my wife, they were like telling me that, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, nope, I'm okay with it." I wish he would have got at least one punch in, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
Yeah, that scene made more sense to me because not having seen the full original trilogy, I was like, okay, his whole clan is just going to stand around and watch the villain beat him up.
They could have easily combined forces and taken him out.
Easily outnumbered him, right? And so,
Oh yeah.
But no, maybe understand the context of like the apes have this strong law of no ape should hurt each other.
So those of you who are listening, now you know that's the reason. If you had a gripe with that, if you took issue with that, then hopefully this kind of eases your mind, your frustration. Yes. Yeah. Some of the other characters I really enjoyed. What was his name? Anaya, I think was.
Oh yeah, well, I think that's
Noah's
right.
friend.
Noah, one of Noah's buddies. Yeah, so there was Suna, which was his love interest, and then you had Anaya, who is kind of the goofier, a little more cowardly friend of his, but he was also really funny. He had some good lines in there as well.
Had a good arc too, because he started off pretty strong as they did their initial climb, and then kind of had this timid period where he's like, I'm too scared to do anything against this guy, against this other ape. But then all of a sudden he's like, nope, you can't go on this climb without me, guys. And he totally comes around and totally becomes a boss. Yeah. It was great. I loved all the apes and their character arcs. It was done so well, and Noah's was fantastic. Like you said, going from someone who really does not trust the echoes or humans, not trusting them at first, and then meeting and then Raka.
Yeah.
Meeting Raka and being totally converted to the Caesar discipleship. And then just, start trying to begin to mend that bridge between apes and echoes was super special. And he was just a solid character. I loved watching his development. They never really explained why they call him echoes.
That's true.
Maybe they did, but I missed it. But I was like waiting for an explanation. I'm like, okay, why are they calling them echoes? Is it because they're echoes of the yeah, it was new.
Yeah, they never referred to them as
echoes
before.
They called them as humans. So I was like, why are they calling them echoes now?
And but I believe the echoes are only referring to the humans who are less evolved or less intelligent or whatever. Is that right?
Don't talk.
Yeah, that don't talk. They don't.
Maybe.
Did Raka ever call them echoes, or was it just Noah's tribe calling them that?
I think it was just Noah's tribe. I think
it was just Noah's tribe too.
Yeah, because he mentioned it, and they were like, "You mean humans?"
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what?
And so they didn't know of any humans that could talk. They just knew of humans that behaved like animals, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird.
I'm guessing
anyway.
The only for me, I thought that was a question too, and I was like, maybe that's something they explained in the previous movies. And
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And then the only other explanation is like it must just be Noah's tribe came up with a weird description. Like they're sort of like apes, but not as good, so we'll call them an echo or something. I don't know.
Right, that's what my mind went to immediately.
That's fair.
One thing that I thought was really random, after Noah gets his egg and he runs into May, she totally decides to just like abort the egg. You're just like,
yeah.
What was that about? Why? Like,
yep.
I think, yeah. That goes once again for me. Like, if she's trying to get their trust, she's just like being ridiculous. But I think it was an accident. I think they're suggesting like she closed the door so he wouldn't catch her, and the door smashed the egg or whatever.
Well, that's how it looked like he straight up just pushed him like that. Yeah,
she pushed him and smashed the egg.
Yeah,
but I still think it was an accident. Like David
it could have been an accident, but yeah, But at
I
first
agree.
I was like, oh, there's something, I thought she did it on purpose, and maybe there was something special about the eggs. Like, I don't know.
To be very honest, I think it was plot convenience. I think what they wanted to go for in the movie was, we want the audience to think she's just a primitive human, can't talk. She's
Mhm.
just there. She's just there to scavenge, and so that's why all those scenes happen where she's acting like that. And it's not till like halfway through the movie you realize she's smart. She finally talks, right? And I feel like it was just there to trick the audience, not because it made sense with the story,
Yeah.
And that's some complaint I have with movies in general sometimes, where it's obvious that things are there just not because it makes sense in an overall story, but like, oh, we got to do this so the audience is confused or something, I don't know.
Sounds like a Ryan Johnson move. Any Star Wars 8 fans here?
I'm not a fan of the new Star Wars trilogy. Just to put that out there, like,
Yep. Nope. None of us are.
To say you were
If you
stepping
are,
in the
find us in the
realm.
comments below.
Fight us. I was gonna say if you were a huge fan, then you're stepping in the realm of heresy there. No, I'm just kidding. No. And I'm glad they didn't make this too much of a rehash of the original Planet of the Apes, but at the same time, there were a few things where I'm like, they could have at least kept some of the traditional things, like in the very intro where it said Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I wish they had the word kingdom highlighted and then kind of like be the lone word that disappears, like they did with Dawn and Rise and
It was
War.
so cool.
That was so cool, and I was looking forward to that, but they didn't do it. So,
But the scene in the opening was like,
oh my gosh, the opening scene with Caesar.
heartstrings.
I know.
Oh my word! Because you didn't see that at the end of the movie,
Right?
You were like, "Oh, this is a new thing we've never seen before. Oh, this is touch. Oh, this is heavy."
Yeah.
This is obviously where I missed on the emotional weight by not having seen all the original movies.
That's okay. You will feel the emotional weight. I promise.
Right.
I was like, oh, there, Caesar, he got old and died, I guess. Anyway. Anyway, don't say too much.
Yes. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not saying nothing. All right. So here's my last question to the panel, and it is: how are you feeling about the Legend of Zelda movie now? Are you feeling more confident, less confident?
I'm feeling confident. So so my biggest problem when they announced the Legend of Zelda movie is that it was going to be live action. I was like, oh, it seemed like everybody was saying, do an animated one, do like Studio Ghibli Zelda or something,
Yeah.
And I was kind of on that board. I was on that side, I was like, animated will be easier to pull off for Zelda, you capture some of the whimsicalness of the series and keep the personality. And they said live action. I was like, oh, well, okay. So I'm feeling a little more confident, though, that they can pull it off after seeing the quality of this movie from a production standpoint. They just need different writers that can do a plot that is more interesting.
Agreed. And I think that's where it'll be in good hands, is because you have Nintendo working directly with it.
Yes.
So they're not going to let it, take some crazy route that doesn't make sense Zelda-wise. At least that's my hope. But with Wes and his work directing the motion capture side and the product, as far as the design and the animation and everything, I think it'll be fantastic. So yeah, in the interest of time, I'll just summarize it that way and say I have great hopes for The Legend of Zelda. I think Wes will do a fantastic job, and I'm looking forward to it.
Ditto. I don't have to say anything else. They covered it. I'll just be wasting my breath. All right. Well, that's all we got for you. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Since you made it this far, I assume you've seen it. So let us know what you thought. And let us know what you think about this other movie. Are you more hyped? Are you feeling confident? Are you still a little bit weary? Let us know why in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and ring that notification bell on your way out. And until next time, guys.
Keep it
Nerdy.